Get up. Get up! Get up. Get up! Will you get up? I knew darn well I should have gotten a lady mule. Will you get up?
How do you do, ma'am? Looks like you got some trouble. Give you a hand?
Young man, if you can get this consarn male mule up on his 4 feet, I'll give you $1.
Well, never mind that. Let's see what we can do. Just needed a little encouragement and understanding.
Well, here you are, young man.
I just got paid, ma'am.
I said I'd pay you, now take it.
All right. Say, maybe you could use a couple of matches, just in case. Aren't you a little afraid out here all by yourself?
Of course not.
One lone woman.
Young man, I can take care of myself as good as any man that ever lived. And besides, if I did get into any trouble, I know how to handle this.
I believe you. Sounds of the rude world heard through the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer.
What's the town council going to do? Something's got to be done, and done fast.
Now, we're working on it, Mr. Black.
Joe, hear what you done to Pineville? My brother wrote to me. It was awful.
Yes, I know it was, but... Hey, Vince!
Oh, hi there, Mr. Mayor. You men look like you got trouble.
That we have.
What's the matter? Did the Apaches break out of the reservation?
Well, it's worse than that. A lot worse.
What is it then?
A new kind of woman.
You mean a woman's the cause of all these long faces?
Well, it ain't funny. She just about wrecked Pineville.
What kind of a woman is this?
Well, she's something called a suffragette. Back east, these women clubs are campaigning for the rights of females. They say not only should they have the right to vote, but they should have equal rights with men in the home.
That's right. They're swarming all over the east like grasshoppers. My brother wrote to me from Pineville. He said one of them just left there was headed this way.
Well, what does she do?
Confuse the women folk.
By filling them with fancy ideas.
How does she do that?
By lying to them. Telling them they are just as good as men.
But now they should have the votes. Now, can you imagine what would happen to this country if women could vote? Here, Vin, look at this poster.
Ladies, are you your husband's mate or slave? Hear the word of Susan B. Anthony, Emma Burt Speaker, Town Hall today.
Uh-oh. Here she comes.
It's too late. See what I mean, Vince?
You can't tell me a little woman like that can cause much trouble.
Now, look here. Maybe you could help us. All of us here are married men, but you're a bachelor. Now, you must be pretty smart with women who've stayed that way that long.
I can't help it. She's not breaking any laws.
What do you mean you can't?
I came here to get some rest, and that's what I'm gonna get.
But, Vince...
If you'll take my advice, you'll just leave her be. Unless she breaks the law, that is.
While they're courting us, they talk mighty sweet talk. But as soon as we promise to love, honor, and obey them, well, they give their cattle more privileges than their women. How many of you are killing yourself? How many of you lie awake half the night worrying while that man cavorts in the saloon, gorging himself on strong drink? Ladies, we have suffered too long, but the day is at hand.
Here you are.
You say there's nothing going on in there, then why don't you do it?
Because you're the sheriff and it's your duty.
That's right. You took an oath to defend us. Now live up to it, Dratton.
United, we shall have the vote and equal rights and our freedom.
Drop, what are you doing in here?
Now, Amy, this here's official business.
Official business?
Ma'am, the town council just passed a new ordinance. Meetings of more than 5 ladies at a time is against the law.
What?
It's the law, Amy.
They have no right to do it!
Ladies, take your seats, please. Sit down, ladies. This is exactly what I was talking about.
You never saw so many wet hens.
The way those women piled out of there.
And you did it, son. Yes, sirree. You showed us how to get rid of that woman.
I did. I did?
Sure. You said leave her be unless she breaks the law. So we made a law and she broke it.
Come on, get your clothes on, boy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Now, look, I want to get some rest. We're going to give you the best celebration dinner a man ever had. Come on, Duchess. Come on. Come on, Duchess. Come on, Ben. Come on in, Vince. You make yourself comfortable. I'll tell her we're here.
Thank you.
Hello, Vin.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Mercer.
It's been a long time.
That it has.
Woman, where's our supper? Well, don't you recollect that I told you I was bringing Vint home?
Yeah, I remember. I'm sorry for you, Vint.
Sorry for him? Why?
'Cause I ain't cooking your supper tonight.
You ain't what?
Cooking. Tonight or no time. Till you treat me better than you do that pesky dog.
You see, Vince? You see what I told you about that woman?
Miss Birch, if you please. If she hadn't come and opened my eyes, I'd have gone through life just
being a slave.
Well, we'll go someplace we're more welcome. Come on, Vint. Woman, you're gonna regret the day you ever heard of Emma Birch.
Goodbye, Miss Mercer.
Come on, Vint.
And you stay out of here. And don't you expect me to do one blessed thing for you until you're ready to give me the respect I deserve. You hear, Henry Peabody?
Yes, I hear. Just you wait. We'll show that woman up.
You leave her be if you know what's good for you. Now get!
Hey, wait for me.
Well, this is more like it.
Just like the old days.
And Emma Birch really made this place come to life.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Come on, boy. Have a drink.
I got a thirst.
First drinks on the house tonight, boys.
How's the food here, Mr. Mayor?
Food? Well, it's not as good as Martin's, but who needs food, eh?
Why, Mr. Mayor, it's sure an unexpected pleasure to see you.
Sure is.
Little Peabody, where you been keeping yourself?
Well, Annie, you know.
What's the matter? Don't you like me anymore?
Sure he does, more than ever. Don't you, Peabody?
That's right. Who needs wives?
Have another drink, boys.
I'm certainly glad you boys have come back to where you're appreciated. Mr. Bonner, I will get Lucy for you.
Ladies, I want a word with you.
Who is it?
It's me, Vint. Pete Mercer.
Oh, no. The door's open. Come in. What do you want?
Vince, you gotta let me stay with you.
Why?
She put me out.
Who put you out?
Martha, what do you think? When I got home from the fat dog, she said my place was out in the barn with the other animals. Now I ask you.
What did you do?
Nothing. I didn't even breathe on her. Hope you don't mind my sharing a room with you.
I certainly do mind. Just because you men can't handle one little woman, I'm thinking of joining a cattle drive just to get some rest. Now you go downstairs and get yourself a room of your own.
Well, I can't. Ain't a single room left in the whole town.
You mean she told all the wives to...
Yeah.
And they did?
You said she wasn't dangerous.
The next morning, I decided to take a look around the town. You know, there wasn't hardly a man to be seen anywhere.
Vint!
Hello, Henry. Say, where are all the men?
Well, where do you think? Doing chores.
Doing what?
Yeah. The fool female said they wouldn't lift a hand until we gave them their equal rights. Well, we'll show them, by golly. There's nothing to do in a few simple chores.
For a moment.
Sure.
Mr. Bonner, the girls from the Fat Dog asked me to come to you.
What about?
about this equal rights business and Miss Birch? Well, she wants us to join up with the ladies of the town, even go out to their headquarters.
Well, when Miss Birch talks about equal rights, I don't think she means just the married women. Why don't a couple of you girls go out and see if she means it?
I guess we could. Thanks, Mr. Bonner.
Now, just what is it you want me to do?
Oh, now, Vin, it ain't like we were asking you to do anything illegal.
All we want you to do is to go out there and ask her how much she'll take to leave town.
You mean offer her a bribe?
Well, what's wrong with that? Yeah, the boys are losing money by having to stay home and do the women's chores, aren't you, boys?
That's right.
That's right.
So it'll be cheaper to pay her off.
Well, I don't think it'll do any good, but I'll try.
All right, Mr. Bonner, let's hear it.
Well, Miss Birch.
Well, sit down, young man.
Well,
What do those men think they have to offer?
Well, Miss Birch, this is not my idea. But they want to know how much you'd take to leave town.
Mr. Bonner, the last time I was made that offer, the man left town.
Oh.
It was my second husband. Surprised to learn I've been married, Mr. Bonner?
Yes, ma'am, a little. Seeing as how you feel about men.
I don't feel any way about you men. What I'm against is the way you treat us women. We're not lackeys. We want respect.
No.
You've got to start treating us as...
Miss Birch, don't go on at me. I'm neutral.
How can you be neutral? You're a man, aren't you?
Well, yes, ma'am, but, you see, I've never been married.
You a coward?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, Emma, but we're ready to start.
I'll be right there, Martha. Mr. Bonner... Mr. Bonner, you tell those old fools that I'm not dealing with any bachelor. If they want to hear my terms, I'll see them at the meeting hall tomorrow noon.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, of all the low-down nerve.
Well, if she thinks we're going to show up at that town hall, she's almighty mistaken.
Did you say what would happen if we didn't show up?
Well, she did say that if you didn't, why, it would be another week before she'd think of making a deal.
What?
That's what she said.
Well, it's against nature. That's what it is. It's against nature, isn't it?
Right. We should never have come here in the... I told you it was a mistake.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen. Ladies. If any of you men are thinking of making peace with your woman, well, you just better listen. Mr. Bonner, since you are neutral, would you mind officiating?
No, ma'am. This is a proposition set forth by these ladies here. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. And that men and women are endowed with certain inalienable rights. And those grievances set forth by the women of Roan Horse shall be recognized, and each husband shall sign a pledge swearing to correct his faults.
Pledges? Faults? What faults we got?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner.
Bonner's a traitor. Worse than that, he's a bachelor.
Hey, I thought you were on our side.
What's the matter with you?
Ladies, would each of you state the grievance you have against your man? Mrs. Peabody.
Spitting on the floor. Always missing the cuspidor.
Well, I hit it half the time.
Belching at the supper table.
Well, I want him to stop kissing the dog and start kissing me.
These are the pledges. If you men accept these conditions, you'll sign.
Never.
We ain't signing nothing.
That's right. What do you think we are, sheep?
I'm getting out of here. Come on, boys.
Well, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
I thought you're on our side.
You're not gonna sign, huh, boys?
Of course not. Are
Certainly
we?
no. No, indeed.
Well, you're the mayor, Pete. We'll do as you say.
What do you mean you'll do as I say? Ain't you got gumption enough to walk out of here alone?
Oh, Henry, can I talk to you for a minute alone?
Excuse me.
Why, you lily-livered...
John.
Ralphie.
Well, Mayor, looks like it's going to be a long, cold winter for us. Not for them, huh? Let's have some dinner.
Just a minute, Vint. You got a pencil?
Just happen to have one here.
Mr. Bonner.
Oh, yes, Miss Birch. Well, I guess you did what you came here to do. Of course, I can't rightly say I think the men are going to get used to the new order very quickly.
There's nothing like a marriage that's based on an equal partnership.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Tell me something, Mr. Bonner.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you still a bachelor?
Well, Miss Birch, I just,
Oh, come on now. You ought to settle
Birch,
down.
that's
I've got the
fine.
loveliest daughter back
You
east,
have. Well,
just
Miss Birch,
22. Oh, she's a fine
got a
girl
horse.
with a fine girl. Fine character. She takes after me, Mr. Bonner. I raised her myself. You go, Mr. Bonner. She's a lovely girl. Mr. Bonner, where are you going? Mr. Bonner, come back here. Come back. Don't be a coward. It's the only natural thing to do.
country with thick, rich veins of the yellow stuff in the surrounding hills. Now all the gold was long since gone, except for that which remained in men's dreams. I thought I heard a cry, long ways off. Could have been an animal. Then it could have been something else.
We ain't got time for any more of that.
Can you think of a better way to make him talk?
Yeah. One sure way. Now listen to me, old man, because I'm only going to ask you this one more time. You can still hear, can't you?
I can still hear.
That's good. Because maybe now you can stay alive. Now for the last time, where'd you find that gold?
You'll have to kill me first.
Any way you like it, old man.
Vent, Father.
Drop the gun, easy. The next one goes right between your eyes. You're Hiram Grover, aren't you?
That's me.
What are they trying to do, kill you?
Take more than the likes of them to hurt an old desert rattler.
Now let him go. All right, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, shoot.
Don't do it, Len. Now you drop that gun or I'll break this man's arm. Do as he says, Len. Or do you want to kill your old brother? He calls your brother.
That's the only thing that's keeping you alive. I'll make you a deal, mister.
Name it.
Let him go. I won't use this. Otherwise, I'll kill you both.
Drop the gun first. Do it, Len. Give you a hand, Hiram?
I don't need no help.
They sure worked you over.
Why? Why? They're after the gold. Want to steal my claim.
Gold claim? What are you talking about?
Here. Loaded with the yellow stuff. I'll show you. The best ore I've seen in 40 years of looking. Yes, sir. Ore that'll make a man's eyes pop right out of his head.
You mean rock, don't you, Hiram?
No, I don't mean no such darn thing. I mean ore.
Now, look, old-timer, everybody knows that these hills were cleaned out over 20 years...
No, wait a minute. That ain't so. It ain't played out. It's just harder to find.
Well, maybe you found something, but you sure...
Gold? I say it's gold. If this here yellow stuff I've got here don't assay out over $1,000, I'll eat mule steak on Sunday.
$1,000?
Yes, and that ain't all. I'll just bet that this vein I found will deliver more gold in 1 year than all they ever took out of California.
All right, Hiram.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
If anybody deserves getting a strike, you do. You've been looking longer than anybody I know.
Yeah. 45 years, Bent. Yeah. 45 years come winter.
Told them people in Clay City that there was still gold in them there mountains. I could smell it. Would they believe me? No. They said old Hiram was touched. That his brains was rattling from too much sun. Well, they'll start braying a different song now. Fools. You think that I don't know gold when I see it?
Well, anyone can make a mistake, even an old timer.
It ain't no mistake, you young fool. This is the real thing.
All right, Hiram.
All right.
You need any help getting to Clay City?
No, I know more shortcuts than you do. I'll be into town before you're into bed. Yes, and you can tell them people in Clay City that Hiram Grover struck it rich.
I'll tell them.
And see what they say about that.
I'll tell them.
Yeah, you just tell them.
Even if I'd felt like telling anyone, I knew no one would believe it. Not any more than I believed it myself. Anyway, the sun was going down when I got to Clay City. It was coming on Saturday night, but after roundup time at the Circle G, all I was thinking about was a feed for Scar and myself and 10 good hours of sleep between clean, cool sheets.
Who is it?
Hiram Grover, I gotta talk to you. It's important.
Oh. Come on in, Hiram.
Vint, if the whole world isn't chock full of sidewinders, horn toads, and rattlesnakes.
No, wait. Just a minute. What's the matter?
Oh, Enos Wilson is what's the matter?
You mean that man that runs the assay office?
Yeah, he couldn't tell a gold nugget from a tea kettle.
Well, what you mean? He told you that the stuff you brought in isn't any good, is that it?
No, that's the trouble. He didn't say nothing, one way or the other.
Well, then, what are you ranting around about?
You see, by the time I got the Burroughs back into town, it was most 7 o'clock, and Enoch was closing up the assay office.
And it's a very good time for closing. And speaking of closing, Hiram...
I left them 3 sacks of gold with him and told him I wanted to report as soon as possible, and you know what he told me. Said I couldn't get a report till Monday.
Well, isn't that natural, tomorrow being Sunday?
Yeah, that's the same excuse he tried to hand me, the lying skunk.
Hiram, in case you don't know it, Sunday has a habit of coming after Saturday.
Vint, would you listen to me?
Hiram, everybody's been listening to you for years. All the times you've claimed to have struck it rich. If once, just once, you weren't convinced that this was it.
But, Vint, this is it.
Oh, Hiram, not again. Not again.
No, it's gold. It's gold, I tell you, Vint.
Hiram, all right. If it's gold, couldn't you wait till Monday?
Well, I can wait. I've waited for 40 years. But what I don't like is a pack of lies being told.
By the little fellow at the assay.
Yeah. I left my gold with him. Had no choice. Got me a bowl of beef stew at O'Brien's, and then I come back to see about the Burroughs. I peeked in the window, and there was Enoch sitting at the counter testing my 3 sacks of gold.
All right, so he was testing your gold. That doesn't prove anything.
Oh, don't you see, Vint? He's fixing to take my gold for himself. As soon as he finds out how valuable it is, he'll do some substituting, and I'll wind up with 3 sacks of plain rock when I come in to see him on Monday.
Look, if you're so upset about this, why don't you go to him? Ask him straight out. He's probably got a simple enough explanation.
Well, I'm going to, and that's why I want you to go along.
Go along?
Vint, I need help. I ain't as young as I used to be, and you know what this strike means to me. Now, you don't want to see somebody swindle me out of it, do you?
No, Hiram.
Well, all right. Come on, we ain't got all night.
Well, give me a chance to get on some clothes. Howdy, Enoch.
There they are. Them's my sacks.
Well, sure they're your sacks, Hiram.
You see, he ain't even denying it.
You've gone out of your mind, or...
I'll ask the questions, and you'll do the answering from now on, Enoch. And you better not lie in front of Vint Bonner here, either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought you said that you couldn't assay this ore until Monday.
Well, what if I did?
Well, it appears like you sort of changed your mind on it.
Vint, would you know what's the matter with him?
Well,
Yes, I've got a fair idea.
There ain't nothing the matter with me. I can still take care of any skunk that tries to cheat me out of my gold.
What? Who you calling a skunk?
You. And if you ask me, it sure fits.
Why, you dried up little donkey pusher, I can know you were...
Now, wait a minute! Before one of you old fighting cocks throws your back out of place.
He can't talk to me that way.
I'll talk to you any way I like.
No, you can't, Hiram. Not unless you can prove what you're talking about.
Proof? Why, if I was trying to cheat him, would I have sent word for him to come by and pick up his assay report tomorrow morning?
You sent word?
Ask Mike O'Brien, you old horsehead. Went by the cafe myself looking for you. You'd already left. So I told him if he saw you to give you the message.
You told Mike?
Well, Hiram?
Well, doggone it, Bint, how was I to know?
Well, Enoch, I guess he's sorry.
Oh.
What did change your mind? Why did you decide to make your essay tonight instead of Monday?
He's been bringing me samples to assay for more years than I can remember. Usually it's low-grade stuff, too thin with weight and hardness to even bother about. A little better than fool's gold. But this time he seemed more anxious than usual. And then, too, this is definitely more promising. So I figured I'd just get right at it instead of waiting until Monday morning.
Enoch.
What do you want, you old fool?
Enoch. What is it? Is it gold, Enoch? Is it gold?
You think he might have stumbled onto something?
I can't say positively yet. I still got to make a couple of tests. But it looks like maybe it's gold.
Gold? I found it! I found gold! Yippee! I found gold! Yippee! I found gold! Oh, I found it!
Evening, gentlemen.
Who are you?
Never mind. Grab some air. All three of you.
I see here,
You too, old man. I guess you didn't expect to see us again. I just start reaching. I guess this time there'll be no problem killing you. You run this place?
Well, I do the assaying.
And open the safe.
Well, there really ain't nothing.
Never mind, Stolen. Get it open.
That was real nice, lugging this in for us.
You leave that alone, you hear?
Take it easy, Grandpop. Feels real heavy.
That all belongs to me. You got no right to it.
I guess you just don't hear good. I said take it easy.
I spent most of my life looking for that gold, and I... You leave it...
Hiram, let me see.
You saved my gold, Bint.
You better get him to a doctor, quick.
Doc Nibble's house is in the next block.
We'll take him there. Grab hold.
How is it, Doctor?
Well, it's too early to tell anything yet. I got the bullet out, but he still isn't out of the woods.
See what you mean.
For a man his age to lose all that blood, it's a very serious thing.
Sure.
I understand you got the thieves, both of them.
You sure did, Doc.
What are his chances, do you think, Doctor?
He's an old man. I've seen fellows a whole lot younger than...
Yeah.
Say, you better get yourself some rest.
Well, I thought maybe we could,
Nothing you can do here. Not a chance of him coming to before morning.
Come on, Vent. Doc will take care of him.
All right, I'll see you in the morning, Doctor. I guess I didn't know how tired a man could get. Anyway, I slept till after 10 the next morning. Or maybe it was because I just didn't like the thought of going to Doc's to find out how Hiram was. I started to head for Doc's anyway. Then I passed the assay office. And though it was Sunday, I saw Enoch in there.
Howdy, Vin.
Morning, Enoch. Well, I see you got the place all straightened up.
Oh, yeah, Sheriff Jay and his deputy took care of that. I just came back from seeing Hiram.
Oh. Is he?
No, but sure don't look good.
It's kind of sad. Just when he seems to have found what he's been looking for all his life.
You know, I couldn't sleep last night after all that fracas, and so I came back here and I finished up all the work on Hiram's samples.
This it?
Yeah.
Looks real rich.
Oh, it's the real thing, all right, no doubt about it.
So the old goat was right.
If there's any more ore as rich as this in those mountains, we'll have a full-scale gold rush right here in Clay City.
Oh, Hiram ought to know about it.
Oh, he knows it.
He does?
Well, I told you that I couldn't sleep. So after I finished up the assay early this morning, I went right back over to Doc's. Well, I thought that Hiram would want to know before...
That was mighty thoughtful of you, Enoch.
It wasn't nothing. I just couldn't sleep, that's all. Oh, Doc says he's got a good, strong constitution for a man of his age. Why, he just hasn't got any fight left. I mean, you know, Vent, he just doesn't care whether he lives or dies.
Well, you had a hard night, Enoch. You probably all tuckered up, too.
Oh, no, Vent. You see, Doc couldn't understand it either. He thought if there was anything that would make Hiram want to live, it would be knowing he'd struck it rich.
Well, you'd think so after he spent most of his life grubbing around those mountains.
Well, the only way we can explain it is that Hiram just don't believe me. Maybe he thinks I'm lying to him because he's so bad off.
Well, he did say he never got an honest assay.
So we thought, the Doc and me, we thought that maybe if he heard it from you.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You know, Enoch, if I ever need a Philadelphia lawyer, I'm going to call on you. Well, Hiram, how's it going?
Fair, Vint, fair, considering.
Well, the doctor says you're going to be real well real soon.
Yeah, he told me.
But you know, doctor can't do it all by himself. You've got to give him some help.
It don't matter. Don't matter at all.
Now, what are you talking about? I figured you'd be jumping up and down in bed, just raring to get going as soon as you heard the news.
You mean about the gold?
Yeah, Enoch here says he told you. Biggest strike ever made around Clay City.
Yeah, he told me.
You believe him, don't you?
Yeah, I believe him. I know it is real stuff first time I found it. Maybe that was the sign.
The sign?
Yeah, Vint. My life's over. 45 years I looked for that yellow stuff. And now that I've found it, it don't leave no reason to keep on looking. No reason at all. Oh, after all those years, I'm tired, Vint. Awful tired.
But Hiram, you're going to be a rich man, a very rich man.
Oh, you think that's why I was hunting for gold? Because it'd make me rich? Well, when I was younger, maybe that was a reason. But lately, in the last few years, I wanted to prove it to folks that I knew what I was talking about, that Hiram Grover wasn't touched in the head like they said.
But Hiram, you know better than to believe anything that people say about you.
So, it won't be so hard to die. It won't be hard at all. I got done what I set out to do. I guess maybe I'm luckier than most men get to be.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
It just goes to show, Vint, that things turn out for the best.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess Enoch here did the right thing.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. You get some rest.
Now, just a minute, Vint Bonner. What'd you start to tell me about Enoch Wilson doing something? Now, finish it up. What you're going to tell me. Go on.
Hiram, I don't want to get you upset, so you just get some rest.
Great jumping Jehoshaphat. Don't you worry none about me getting upset. I can take care of myself. Now, what was it you're going to tell me?
Well, Hiram, you were so weak and so feeble, you can hardly blame Enoch here for feeling sorry for you.
Feeling sorry for me? Enoch Wilson feeling sorry for me?
Well, anyway, I guess that's the reason he felt he had to tell you that...
You don't mean he was lying to me? That ore that I brought in wasn't full of gold?
No, I didn't say that.
Great balls of fire. Why, you low-down skunk. Of all the low-down double-crossing...
You're a sick man, and you better get...
Sick man, am I? I'll show you how sick I am. So, it wasn't true, huh, about my strike?
Now, Hiram, a man in your condition...
My condition? They thought I was going to die. And then they were all going to have a laugh on me, huh? Well, I just ain't going to be that obliging. No, sir. I'm going to get well if it kills me. I'll do it in spite of people and tell me about these things. And I'll find gold. Yes, sir, I'll go out and find it in them there mountains where I said I'd find it. Yes. Anyway, you're going to soft soap me into kicking the bucket.
Hey, Doc, come here. Looks like your patient made a miraculous recovery.
You just tell them, Vint, that if they're thinking anything like that, they'd better start thinking... Oh, drat it. They'd better start thinking different.
Well, sir, by the time Hiram got well and found out he was responsible for a genuine gold rush, there just wasn't much he could do about it. Then the way the money poured in, faster than Hiram could spend it, no matter how hard he tried. Sure went in for some fly-by-night schemes, though. Like organizing a prospecting expedition to go to Alaska, someplace called the Klondike. Who'd ever find gold in a place like that? Yaqui Arrow, it had to be. There wasn't another warlike tribe within 200 miles. It was lucky for me it was only my arm. The question now was, where was he? There wasn't a sign of him. I couldn't see a twig or a leaf move. Going to need all the help I could get.
seemed foolish to expose myself, but it looked as though I was going to have to do just that. I didn't know where he was, but he knew where I was and could afford to wait. I was losing too much blood. Fletcher place just before sundown, feeling kind of puny. I guess I lost too much blood from that Indian arrow.
Turpentine might smart a bit, but it's the only medicine we got.
All right. Feels better already.
Best let Doc Kincaid see it tomorrow, though. It's a clean wound, but there's always a chance of blood poison.
Blood poison what gives you lockjaw, ain't it, Pa?
Sometimes.
Do you feel up to eating stew, Mr. Bonner, or do you want I should skim off some of the broth?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm hungry as a wolf.
Then I reckon you'll make out.
We got a cake, 3 layers, with chocolate icing, tonight. It's got 6 eggs in it.
Today's John's birthday. Make a wish?
I did.
Looks like you're going to get it, too.
I know it. You know what I wish?
What?
That my new boots will fit and won't gall my heels. And they better not, too.
Reverend Fletcher, you still of the same mind about staying here?
Yes, Mr. Bonner. Oh, I'm not worried about the Yankees. They know me, and they know I mean them no harm. Start, Mr. Bonner.
But these Yankees are from the other side of the mountain, down on the Mexico side.
They are all children of God, Mr. Bonner, wherever they come from.
Bless you, Mr. Bonner. Daniel goes down into the deep Yaqui country all the time, alone.
Without no guns, too. With only his Bible and a canteen of water.
And the hand of the Lord between me and harm. No, Mr. Bonner. We'll stay on here, where we've been for the past 15 years. We'll stay here until he sees fit to call us home.
Some more cake, Mr. Bonner?
Well, now,
Oh, just a little sliver.
All right, till I get my strength back. Sort of hold us till dinner time. You sure you were going to town? Or do you just come along with me because I'm a little puny?
Oh, no, Mr. Bonner. I had to go into town anyhow to get my birthday boots. Got the whole $7. Right here.
$7? That's a lot of money.
Don't I know it. I've been saving up for over 3 years. Cash money's right hard to come by.
I know what you mean.
See, Pa don't get to spend much time at the ranch and with his car and all.
Well, one thing for sure. You'll have the best pair of boots money can buy. Old Tio Paco's the best bootmaker in Texas.
Feel, Mr. Bonner, feel. Ever feel anything as soft as that leather?
Just as soft as a lady's glove.
You sure they not pinch you toes?
No, they're just right.
You keep just right? All secret from Cordova. Make from tallow, fat of bear, and beeswax. You rub, much rub. Keep soft and shiny.
Don't worry, I will.
Hasta luego, Paco.
Hasta luego. Vayan con Dios, señores.
Hey, you got off right easy this time, Vint. Seems a shame to even charge you.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
He won't get blood poison, Dr. Kincaid.
Oh, no, it's a clean wound. Starting to scab over already.
Then I guess I'll be getting along then.
Hey, hold it. Come back here. I was planning on taking you to dinner.
Oh, thanks just the same, Mr. Bonner. But I've got to get back right away.
Well, you're welcome to sleep over at my house and ride out in the morning.
Thanks just the same. But I can't today. Goodbye, Mr. Bonner.
So long, son.
Goodbye, Dr. Kincaid.
Goodbye, John. I wonder what he's in such a slivet to get home for.
Well, if you'd saved up 3 years to buy yourself a pair of new boots, you'd be anxious to get home and show them off yourself.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Daniel Fletcher's a good preacher. More like a missionary than a regular preacher. But he's not much of a rancher.
Hey, Vance. Hi there, Bob. What's the matter?
We got some trouble.
Like what?
Well, I'm trying to make up a posse. I just got word that a bunch of Yankees crossed the river, 35 miles west, killing and burning everything in sight. Headed by a warrior chieftain named El Alecran.
El Alecran, that means scorpion in Spanish, doesn't it?
Yeah, name fits him. Just mean poison. Now, I'd be mighty proud to have you and that 6-gun along.
Vint has a bad arm, Bob.
You mean you can't ride?
Oh, I can ride all right, but I think I'll head back to the Fletchers.
Yeah, but we gotta go to Sedalia. There are 40 or 50 people there, counting women and children.
I'm still going to Fletcher's.
But Fletcher's a preacher. They won't bother him.
I know he's a preacher, but I killed a Yaqui about 6 miles from there yesterday. I could have brought some trouble on him.
Vint, you take care of that arm, you hear me?
I'll do that. Here, John, you better eat something.
I ain't hungry.
You've got to keep up your strength.
What?
Couldn't you cry?
I can't cry.
Sometimes it helps.
I can't cry.
Here, have some water. You're bound to be thirsty.
I was thirsty. Thirstier than I knew. Where was God, Mr. Bonner? Where was God?
John, I don't rightly know.
I know. He wasn't anywhere. He never was anywhere. And he'll never be anywhere. Because there ain't no such thing as God.
Now, wait just a minute.
If there was, how could he let them die like that? Suffer like that? How could he?
John, he let his own son die. Let him be tortured. Crucified.
But that was to prove that he so loved the world he gave his only begotten son. That was to prove something.
Maybe this was to prove something too.
Prove what?
It says that God moves in mysterious ways his wonders to perform.
I can talk Bible talk with anybody. I was raised on it. And the Bible says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And I swear now that before I die, I'm gonna kill 100 Yankees for my ma and 100 Yankees for my pa. On their graves, I swear it. So help me God, I'll do it!
Like I was trying to tell you this morning, we've got some bad people here in Texas. But you can't blame all the people in a country or a territory just because of some of the people.
Why don't the Mexicans keep the Yankees down where they belong?
The Mexicans have as much trouble with renegades as we do. You can't go around killing Mexicans just because the Yankees live there.
Then I'll kill Yankees. 200 of them.
And you can't kill Yankees just because they are Yankees. Some of them are nice people. They're not all like this Ella
Don't try and change my mind.
Listen, John, I know how you feel. And you've got a right. What I want you to do as I asked you to. Stay with Dr. Kincaid for 2 weeks until I get back from Laredo. Then my arm will be healed and we can go on the trail of the Yankees that did this. Those are the ones we want. The guilty ones.
Guilty bad dogs. Guilty rattlesnakes. Is that what you mean, Mr. Bonner?
They're still people.
Not to me. All of them. All of the dirty, crawling, murdered tribe.
John, will you do as I ask? 2 weeks. Is it a deal?
All right. I guess so. I'm all mixed up. But 2 weeks, it's an awful long time.
Yeah, 2 weeks can be a long time sometimes. I got back from Laredo 2 weeks later, like I said, and I went directly to Dr. Kincaid's office. I was kind of anxious in my mind about young John Fletcher. Hi, Doctor. Having a little siesta?
Oh, no. Just resting my eyes, Vince. Just resting my eyes. How's the arm?
Oh, just as good as new. Where's young John? How's he been doing?
He went away 4 days after you left him here.
He what?
Took my new magazine rifle and 200 rounds of ammunition.
He stole them?
Well, no, not exactly. He left me an IOU against the ranch and cows. And a note saying he was sorry, but he had to go.
Any idea which way he went?
No, but I figure he's somewhere south of the border, hunting Yankees.
That figures. Thanks, Doc. Young Fletcher's trail wasn't too hard to follow. Wherever he passed, he always asked the same question. Where was the Yaqui country? Then he would ride on, not heeding the warnings of the villagers and ranchers that the country was dangerous. After 4 days of hard riding, I talked to a couple of Yaqui squaws. They told me there was a sick white boy in the hogan of old Lupo Lazaro. I found his hogan without much trouble. Buenas tardes, tío viejo.
Good afternoon, amigo.
Oh, you speak English?
Not good, but enough. You seek the young white boy.
That's right. How did you know?
One is informant. He is here.
Well, John?
Yes, Mr. Bonner?
Broken.
I slipped on a ledge.
Anyone could do that. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
2 of our people have found him. They brought him to me.
I see.
He will walk again soon. The bones of the young heal quickly. But sometimes the hearts of the young do not.
I don't follow you.
I know who he is, senor. I knew his father well. He taught among us. I know why he is here. For many hours, the fever possessed your mind, son. You talked. I did not tell you before, for then you would have been afraid. But now your friend is here, you will not be afraid. It is as I feared. The evil one. The one who has brought so much pain and fear to us has returned.
Who is this?
El Alacran. Flesh of our flesh. Scalper and killer of white men. It is a long time since his return to the place of his birth.
Why did he come back?
He came for the boy. I have heard it said he boasted of the scalps of the minister of God and his woman. Now he would have his son.
Is he alone?
There are 2 braves with him.
You guard the boy.
Bueno. May God have mercy on us all.
want the boy, old man. I wouldn't harm one of my own blood.
You have done enough. Vengeance is like unto the old dragon's teeth. It is the harvest of death.
Don't talk, old man. Give me the boy.
You have murdered. You have killed with blind vengeance. The father of this boy was a peaceful man of God. You cannot have him.
You all right?
This is Al Alacran. When he was a boy, like you, he returned home to the camp of his people and found them all dead. The white man had massacred them. This is the man who killed your mother and father. Does it give you pleasure to see him dead?
Do you know where God is now, John?
I think so.
I thought you might.
The Indians say, when the wind stops, even a tumbleweed has to rest. And so it was with Leo Jepson, a man whose home had been his saddle.
Can you stay and visit a while, Vince? We're pleased to have you.
I've taken a job with a cattle firm up near Kingston. I'm leaving early in the week.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, Mary. You take good care of your mom, boy.
Yes, sir.
He sure has grown, Mary. More than half a head since the last time I saw him.
You just haven't seen him for a while.
Give another couple of years and he'll take over for you.
Gotta get to town. Arnold Kessler's been gunned bad.
How do you suppose it happened?
I'll see you in town, Mary.
Can we go see?
All right.
Mr. Bonner went in there? Yeah. Golly, Kyle. He come up here just to see you? Me and Mom and Pa. Well, you're gonna fix it so's I can meet him this time, ain't you? Yeah, I might.
Is the worst kind of killing I've ever seen.
You can say that again.
Look at this.
His arm's nearly been blown apart.
6 bullets in it. 3 in the leg. He's been riddled from top to bottom, like a sieve.
Who in the world would do a thing like that?
Find the man who did it. Ask him.
Arnold Kester. I knew him.
Well, he's been trapping around here for years. Could be you seen him the last time you was in town.
Where do you run his traps?
He's got a cabin up by Virgil Lake.
That's where me and Goff found him, sprawled out in the yard.
Did he say anything before? Anything at all?
Not a thing. He went out like that the minute we come on him.
What do you got on your mind, Ben?
Sheriff, let you and I take a look at that cabin.
All right.
Sure he wasn't robbed. There's beaver pelts all over the place. Find something?
Come here, take a look at these prints.
Could be Kester's. Could be anybody's.
Belong to a man with a crippled right leg.
It's for sure the right one ain't as clear as the left.
Come on.
Where are we going?
Your office, take a look at some of the old files.
What do you expect to find there?
The man who killed Kester.
What are you stopping here for?
Going over to the office and pull out those files. You want in here a minute.
Right.
There you are. You get that off right away for me? All right.
Well, give it to me. Son.
Oh, yes, Pa.
Find something?
Whose name are you looking for? Look, Vint, I'm the sheriff of Mount Verde, remember? Now, if you've got secrets about this, keep them from somebody else.
Will Gerard.
You say something?
This should tie the knot, Tim.
Who is this fella Gerard?
A vicious, cold-blooded killer. Leo and I hunted him down some years ago. Over near the Hualapai Reservation.
That was over 8 years ago. What's this Gerard got to do with Arnold Kester?
A couple of posse members got to him before we did. Shot him up pretty bad.
Well, what about it?
He kept saying that he tried to surrender. But the people were scared and they kept up a steady fire. He had one leg ruined and he lost his right arm.
And Kester over there dead with his... This fella Gerard, wasn't he hung?
No. He was given life and sent to the state prison.
And you figure he busted out, huh?
The answer to that should be at the telegraph office now.
Mr. Bonner! Mr. Bonner! Telegraph for you, Mr. Bonner.
With the speed and service you offer, you don't need any telegraph wires here.
You called it, Vint. You called it real good.
Prisoner described, killed guard, escaped past 24 hours. Will Francis Gerard, dangerous. Utmost caution, W.L. Meade.
So we got us a killer. Nat Corey. Vint, he lived just outside of town.
Which way?
You think Gerard's going to try for him, too?
Let's not waste any time thinking.
Corey. Dead?
Dead. Shot 6 times through the right arm.
Fine. Just fine. He pulled it off just like we invited him in.
And he may not be through yet. There's still Leo Jepson.
Leo? Leo's a long time dead.
Yeah, but his wife and boy aren't.
You don't think that...
How can you tell what a mind like that would do? Look, go to town, get some boys for a search party. I'll go on ahead out to Leo's. I'll see you there.
Told him about that telegram, Mr. Bonner. Figured that Kyle and his mom would want to hear about this escaped murderer.
You just give all kind of service, don't you, boy?
Then do you think this man might have come to Mount Verde?
Looks that way, Mary. He's already killed 2 men today. Arnold Kester this morning, and now Nat Corey.
Good Lord.
Golly, why do you want them, Vint? Or is he just killing whoever he comes on to?
He's got another reason. Mary, I'd like to talk to you alone before the posse gets here.
All right. Up into Kyle's bedroom, the both of you.
Sit down. I don't think there's any danger to you.
Here they are!
So there you are. Looking all over town for you.
Well, Mom knows I'm here. She said I could stay the night if Kyle's mother didn't mind.
It's all right, Mr. Mass. We enjoy having Donnie with us.
We're prepared to search every nook in the county till he's found.
That's good, Tim. We'll leave a couple of men here, front and back.
Right.
It's like I said, Mary. It's just a precaution.
Oh, we'll be all right. You just be careful.
Mass, you stay here and cover the back of the house.
Right.
All right, men, let's move out.
All right, back to bed.
Come on.
I can't hear a sound out there. Can you? Mm-mm. I don't see why we can't take part in the hunt. We ain't old enough. Who ain't old enough? Maybe you ain't old enough. I'm as old as you. Yeah, but I can handle a rifle good. So can I. Not like I can. Who says so? That deer I shot Monday. That's who says so. Why, heck. I let you have first crack at him. Yeah, and I got him. Clean. So would I have. Maybe. Bet you we could sneak through. Huh? Through Pa and them others. Sneak right on by. What for? Well, I don't know about you, but I bet Vinton the sheriff could use our help right now. Well, then why didn't they ask us? What? With my pa standing there? Well, you can go ahead if you want to. Not me. Oh, you're just scared is all. I ain't scared of nothing you ain't scared of. No? Then what are we waiting for? Coons and an owl.
What do you want to do?
Well, go on, naturally.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Where's your hunting spirit?
Back in my old bed.
Look, all one needs a little rest. Bet you even Mr. Bonner rests now and again. I feel better already. You?
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. That's all we need.
Take it easy, Donnie. What do you mean, he's got him?
Like I say, he's got him. And he's holding him. For you.
For me?
That's right. He's wanting you, Mr. Bonner.
Where is he?
He took Carl up to Kester's place. And he's wanting you to meet him up there. Or Carl's gonna be dead.
How do you know Vint was here?
I told him. He was acting real nasty. And I said if he didn't stop that, Vint Bonner would get him. But good. Must be something wrong with him. 'Cause after I said that, he acted real happy.
What are you talking about, boy?
He said getting Vint Bonner would make up for Leo Jepson being dead. Golly, I'm sorry me and Kyle stirred up all this trouble, Mr. Bonner. We was just wanting to help out.
Save your sorry for when your pa gets back. Then you'll have something to be sorry for.
Never mind that. How long ago did he leave for Kester's place?
About an hour.
You better go inside. You're bone cold.
He said if you don't go up there alone, Mr. Bonner, Kyle would be dead, with no questions asked. I think he means it, 'cause he said he don't care nothing about his own life.
Vint, you're not going in there alone, are you?
That's what he ordered.
Ordered? That man's a vicious killer.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Let the boy die?
Vint, what are you going to do when you meet him?
Mary, I don't know.
I think it doesn't matter. Because it's hopeless.
Don't say that. Nothing's ever hopeless. Now go on inside. How do you face a man who lives for only one reason, to take what has been taken from him, and who now holds a young boy to ensure his taking it? If it's true that nothing is ever hopeless, then there had to be a way out somewhere, somehow. I guess it was just up to me to find it. And I didn't have much time.
Pull up, Mr. Bonner! You alone, I take it?
I'm alone.
I'm sure Mr. Bonner's here all by himself. Because we all know what it'll be like. If he ain't.
I tell you, I'm alone, Gerard.
Hey, you remember me. You remember my name. Well, I remember you. You and them others. What you done to me.
I didn't do anything to you.
Well, maybe not direct. But you allowed it to happen.
Allowed what?
There's no need to talk about it now. We know what it was.
If you're talking about getting shot up, Leo and I got there after it had happened to you.
Well, now, that ain't the way I remember it.
Then your memory's bad.
Hey, that's right. It's bad. Bad for you. Now get down. Slow. Drop your gun, please.
The boy gets out of here first.
Now you just do as I say.
It was supposed to be me for the boy. You going back on your bargain? Stand easy, Kyle.
Here now, I'll give the orders. Drop your gun.
Gerard, aren't you satisfied? You've killed enough men.
You obey me, here? That's right. Now move over a little, huh?
Why do you want to kill me, Gerard?
What? Well, I don't want to kill you. I just want your right arm. So at night when you feel for it, you'll remember it's gone. You're laughing. What for you laughing at me? The others cried. But
right, you go on. You go on, keep laughing. Just stick out your arm. Yeah? Just stick out your arm! Or this boy's dead!
Hold it, Gerard.
Your arm. Boy, where's your arm?
I got it shot off 2 years ago in a gunfight.
You're lying! Bonner, you're lying! Get your arm! Bonner!
It's true, Gerard. I'll show you.
No. No, no!
It's all right, boy.
Man, I thought we were going to get it for sure. How'd you know it would work?
I wasn't sure. But I knew he had only one goal, and if we had a chance, that had to be it.
How do you mean?
Well, generally when you take a man's goal away, it upsets him for a while anyway.
Yeah, if there ain't no place to go to, a man sure can't get to it.
That's the idea, but you've got a place. That's home. Come on. Every once in a while, as you travel, you run into a water hole that's been poisoned. Usually the reason isn't too hard to find. But I wonder how the human mind gets poisoned.
Okay, now, go on, all Jim.
When he gets ready to leave, we'll be waiting for him at the hotel.
The horses are ready.
There must be close to 10,000 in gold in them saddlebags.
Only a kid tending it all.
Let's drink it on up. Let's all drink it up. Come on, we want some more to drink.
Better have one, mister. Best 40-rod bourbon in the territory. Compliments of the young cowboy at the end of the bar.
I'll take it.
Go ahead, mister. Like the man said, it's the best 40-rod bourbon in the territory. I'm Della.
Well, Della, I'm Vin Bonner.
You just passing through, or will you be spending some time in our fair little town?
Just passing through. What's the occasion?
Oh, the kid's just celebrating growing up, I guess. Just trail boss's first cattle drive for his father.
Oh, I see. Where from?
Up north, San Mateo Range, about a day's ride.
San Mateo? What's his name?
Jim Winfield. Why, do you know him?
No, but I knew his father from way back.
You mean Cal Winfield, the gunfighter?
Ex-gunfighter. I'm gonna take him out of here.
Why?
Well, because his father's an old friend of mine. Because I know he can't afford to lose that money that the kid's throwing away, so... I'll see you later.
Drink it all up.
You got some catching up to do, mister. Name's Jim Winfield.
My name's Vin Bonner, Jim.
Heard my old man talk about you.
Come on,
I think you've had about enough, Jim.
You think I ought to leave, Mr. Bonner?
That's right.
Well, I'm just going to tell you something now. I ain't about to leave until I'm good and ready to.
Well, that's right now.
What do you think you're doing?
Now, wait a minute. You've got no right to force this boy to leave here against his will.
Sheriff, this kid's drunk. His father's an old friend of mine. He worked hard for this money. I don't aim to see it thrown away.
Well, I reckon reckon he has had too much to drink.
Come on, Jim. You and I are getting out of this town.
You and I?
That's right. I'm going to see that money gets back to your father.
I ain't going.
Now, look, I saw the faces on those men down there tonight. They couldn't take their eyes off that money. You'd be bushwhacked before you're 10 miles outside of town.
Look, I said I ain't going.
I haven't seen your father in some years, Jim.
You mean since he reformed?
I had a letter from him a while back. Told me about his place. Asked me to drop by when I was in the neighborhood. He sounded real proud of it. Proud of you too, Jim. He said he couldn't have built it without you.
That sounds just like him.
He needed the money. He told me about this drive. Needed to build his herd, money to pay off his hands, feed Bill. He risked everything he had on you, Jim, letting you trail boss this drive.
All right, you said your piece. Now I'll say mine. Did he tell you in that letter what it's like to be raised in a town where everybody knows your father was a killer? A hired gun?
It wasn't a hired gun. He was good and he was fast. You had to keep proving it. Your father and I are some alike, Jim. There's always someone pushing. The fact that he laid down his guns makes him the better man for it.
Did he tell you about how no decent folk come to visit? How about the girl I used to have that won't talk to me anymore? You want to know why? Because she found out Cal Winfield, the famous gunfighter, was my father. How many men was it he killed, Mr. Bonner? 17? 18?
That's all past.
Well, I'll never be proud of my father, no matter what you say. Besides, I made my mind up on that drive never to go back here.
Jim.
You take him the money if you want to. I won't be going with you. Tell him when you see him that I cut out for California. Oh, maybe I'll see him again someday.
That the way you want it, boy?
That's the way I want it.
You know who did it? Me and Pete were tending our horses back at the hotel. We heard a shot and run up here. Them saddlebags he had over at the saloon are gone.
Didn't you see anybody?
Well, we heard a horse running fast out of town. That fellow who calls himself, Bint Bonner.
How do we know those two didn't do it?
Then why ain't we got the gold?
Whoever killed the kid did it for the gold. The gold's gone, and so's Bonner. Think we better go after him.
Me and Pete don't like to see no kid killed. If it's all right with you, we'd like to ride along with you.
Glad to have you, boys. Let's get moving.
Well, kid, at least you had a going-away party for yourself tonight.
Howdy. Say, what do you call this place?
Santa Lisa?
Looks like it used to be a mining town. Gold?
Silver. Course you run out.
I see. Then when the silver ran out, so did all the people.
Reckon that's what makes ghost towns, mister.
Say, what do you call that animal?
Oh, well, you might call him a mule, only you'd be wrong. He's just an oversized burro. Oh, he might look like a heap of bones, but he's still got plenty of spunk left.
Do you live here?
Yep. I guess you could call me Santa Lisa's leading citizen. I'm the only one left. Oh, I get enough out of the old mine to buy him a beans.
The day off, huh?
Nope. Today's something special. I'm getting me to see a gunfight. Might be a good one, too. Between Cal Winfield and a fella named, Bint Bonner. Ever hear of him?
Yeah, I heard of him.
Is he fast?
Some people say so.
Yeah, he better be, or Cal Winfield will cut him in half before he gets a good start.
Thought Winfield hung up his guns.
Oh, he did. One of Cal's hands come over here this morning. Said Bonner killed his boy, Jim, over at the hotel in Coachella. Took the pay for over 500 head.
Well, anyone see him do it?
I reckon so. Anyhow, a sheriff and 2 riders were here looking for him. Maybe they done caught him by now.
Yeah, maybe.
If he's caught up to, Bonner's a dead man. Cal swore he wouldn't leave the territory alive. Oh, you seem mighty interested in everything.
I'm a friend of Winfield's.
Who might you be, mister?
Bint Bonner.
Any luck, Sheriff? We've searched most of the valley. We'll find him.
Just remember, no shooting when you do find him. Unless it's me doing it.
What happened to the horse?
They come near bone attendant.
No wonder, the way you've been driving him all night. I know how you feel, Winfield, but you ought to let the law handle this.
Oh, meaning you, huh? This is federal territory, Sheriff. You got no more jurisdiction here than I have, and don't you forget it.
If I was to take him into Coachella, he'd be in my jurisdiction.
Oh, yeah. I heard there's going to be an election in Coachella. I also heard that you haven't got a chance of winning it. Of course, if you brought in Bonner, that'd do it for you, wouldn't it?
Suppose it did. The killer'd still be tried according to the law.
I'm going to kill Bonner my way. The same way he killed my boy, with this. I hung this up 8 years ago. Partly because of Bonner. For my son's sake, he said. For his future.
Haven't you seen him since?
No. When I do, one of us will be dead. Now, where are those Lawson boys he was riding with?
They're waiting down at the little mining town, Santa Lisa, in case Bonner comes through that way.
With my hands covering the rangeland to the north, we'll probably find Mr. Bonner somewhere in between. We'll catch up with him before sundown.
Cal, I want to talk to you.
Get out of here, Sheriff. I said get out of here. Get on your horse and get off my place. You remember how I used to do it in Julesburg, Bonner?
I remember.
When the ashes fall.
You're gonna take up right where you left off 8 years ago.
Right where I left off.
I didn't kill your boy, Cal.
You're a dirty liar. You knew Jim was coming into town with that money I told you in my letter. You couldn't resist it.
That's not true. And your boy wasn't coming back.
You got maybe one more minute of talk left, Bonner.
He asked me to bring back the money, Cal. The last thing he said to me, he was heading for California.
With this ranch, every head of cattle on it, gonna be his someday, oh no.
He didn't want the place. He didn't want the cattle, nor any part of you.
You expect me to believe that? My own son?
It's true, Cal. Your boy was pulling out on you. I think you knew that. Do you think killing the wrong man will even the score?
You're running out of time, Bonner.
Then there's nothing else I can say.
Looks like somebody's liable to set the barn on fire. I've seen this little game played before. Somebody always ends up getting killed. You two got no reason to play it.
Who are you? What business is this of yours?
Who am I? Well, that's not important. What's important is that Vin Bonner here didn't kill your son. I know who did.
You better know what you're talking about, young lady.
You know what this is? The gunsmith at Cuchilla said it's a .38-40 caliber shell. I found it in the hotel room where your son was killed. I've been around men in saloons long enough to know that Vin Bonner was wearing a .45 caliber Colt. That shell couldn't have come from his gun.
I reckon you never did wear nothing but a .45, Vin. In all the years I've known you. I'm sorry. It's just that my son is the only thing in this world that I was going to leave the ranch, everything I owned to him. Figured I'd pull out maybe by the time we put the yearlings out to graze. That way, maybe he'd think about getting married. settle down without having to be ashamed of his name or his old man's history. When I heard that he was shot and you'd done it, I didn't question it, Vint. I reckon I didn't think very straight. Now, you said you know who shot him.
2 men named Lawson. One was wearing a fancy gun. They left Cuchilla with the sheriff.
They were right here in this ranch last night. Right now they're at a place called Santa Lisa. Reckon I'll just ride over there.
Cal, there were 2 of them. Let me go with you.
Have to. I'm proud to have you, Vin.
Sent for the federal marshal.
I figured I had to. This is his jurisdiction.
You had to.
Now, suppose Bonner outdrawed Winfield. We'd be right back where we started. Only Bonner'd have 2 killings behind him.
You think Bonner had a chance? Against Cal Winfield?
I don't know. From the way Bonner handled himself, I'd say he had a chance against anybody.
He's still only one man. There's 3 of us. Them are good odds.
This is probably my last job as sheriff of Cuchillo. I don't suppose I've been the greatest of sheriffs, but before I turn in this star, I want to see this thing through. Even if I can't do it, I want to see Bonner brought in. That's why I sent for the federal marshal.
Well, in that case, Sheriff, me and Pete will head out. We got a date in Mexico. Hey, we, Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, sure we have.
Winfield, what are you doing?
Bonner didn't kill my son. He was shot with a .38-40 slug. It would have had to come from a special job. A custom-made gun, like Clay Lawson's wearing.
You accusing me, Winfield?
Yeah, maybe I am. This shell fits your gun? Sheriff, I'm going to ask you to wait outside. There's a young lady out there who'll tell you all about this shell. You're going to have 2 prisoners going back to Cuchilla. They'll be riding without guns. Or they'll be stretched out wearing them. That'll be their choice. Now you can either drop your belts or make your move. If you want to know who you're drawing on, I'll tell you. Vint Bonner here is the only living man that they said was as fast as me.
Hey, what are you doing? What's the way for killing that kid?
We got to take our chances.
Ain't no man ever backed you down before.
You still got your choice.
Clay, what'd you have to go and drop your gun belt for? 2 against 1. That might be good odds.
The same odds you gave my son.
The sheriff's outside.
I don't know why I didn't kill him. I should have killed him.
Same reason I told your boy. Takes a bigger man to lay him down than it does to use him.
Did you meet up with Cal Winfield?
Yeah, I met him.
What happened? Did you kill him?
No, I didn't kill him. Guess you might call it a draw.
A draw? I ain't never heard of a draw. Not in a gunfight, I ain't. Draw?
River far, far away. There's where my heart am longing ever. That's where the old folks stay. All the world am sad and must be improving. I never took any notice before.
I'd appreciate your pointing out the Abilene Trail.
Well, that trail's kind of hard to find even in the daylight, man.
Well, if you'll just point out the direction, I'll be greatly obliged.
All right, you see the Big Dipper right up there? It points to Polaris. That's the North Star. You just follow that and you'll end up right in Abilene.
I guess I'm not much good at following stars.
At night, the prairie's like an ocean. You have to learn to navigate.
I'll pay you to guide me.
I'm not going that way. Besides, it'd be better for you to wait till morning and then go on. My bacon's burning.
Look, I'll give you $100 to take me to the railroad.
Say, would you like some of these beans?
2.
I'm not a bad cook.
3.
Are you running from or to something?
No questions and you can name your own price.
Look, young lady, there's too many things about you that don't add up. First, your horse is kind of poorly, and that saddle cost you plenty. You're dressed in plain prairie goods, and your pocketbook's bulging with greenbacks.
Look, I want to hire a guide, not a fortune teller.
I like to know who I'm working for and what I'm being hired for. Here, have some of these beans. You'll feel a lot better. Now, I'm not that bad a cook.
You're a fine cook. It's me. I'm all mixed up. I failed.
About what?
Everything.
I remember I felt that way once. I must have been about 16 years old.
You don't understand. He's coming after me.
A real man doesn't hesitate to act.
You want a little help, senor?
You know better than to try and run away.
I'm not taking orders from you, not anymore.
You're coming back. I'm warning you, Abigail.
Don't threaten me.
Garcia, my friend, what would you do if a woman hit you like that?
If any of my muchachas were to do that to me, I would cut off a finger, so they remember not to do it again.
Yeah, tie her up. You've been too gentle with her.
We do not have all night, senor.
I was hoping you wouldn't do that. This lady's going to Abilene with me.
She's coming back.
I don't think so.
Oh, he doesn't think so.
A man's a fool when he argues against 3-to-1 odds.
You changed your mind, ma'am?
Yes, I'm going home with him.
Home?
I'm his wife. This is Peter Garrick.
It's bad business to mix between a husband and wife, senor.
It's a quick way to get hurt. You keep winning like this, and nobody out west is going to deal you in.
You gentlemen won't believe we did any gambling back east.
Well, then I'd say you did right to come out west.
Sure. Look what I have to show for a year's farming.
Farming. That's no good. That's what I did when I first come out here. Take a lifetime to scrounge out a few $1,000s. I told you, Peter. You can do better than struggle with a farm all your life. What do you say, Peter?
Let's ride to town. I've got some business at the bank.
Señor, nos vamos.
We're waiting, Peter.
It's you.
I thought you'd be expecting me.
Why?
Well, there's $500 in this. Kind of careless, aren't you?
Come in. Thank you. Oh, you expect a reward?
No, ma'am. You know, as long as I live, I don't think I'll ever understand women.
Why?
Well, if you'd stood pat last night, you'd be halfway to Abilene by now.
And you'd have been dead by now.
What?
Those two men, Matt and Garcia, they're killers. I came back here to save your life.
You know, I've changed my mind about that reward. No, I think perhaps I owe you something. Could I talk to you? Would you sit down?
Well, hello, Peter.
Mr. Loring?
How are you, Peter?
Mr. Loring?
Come in, sit down. Thank you. Anything special on your mind?
As a matter of fact, there is. The thing that bothers me is the payment on my ranch is due, and...
Well, now, don't worry about it, son. We know that things can get a little rough. I'll give you another extension.
Mr. Loring, I'm thinking of selling out.
You let your ranch run down, Peter. It isn't worth much the way it stands. Now, why don't you take a few $100s of your wife's money and spruce the place up, and then sell it?
Abigail's money isn't mine.
Oh, that's nonsense, Peter. Don't be so proud.
We still have that letter of credit their father left with us, untouched.
My parents helped us get started, and we're certainly going to help our kids.
Setting up a ranch isn't easy, Peter. Especially for city-bred folks who never had any experience at it.
Isn't there any other place we could keep these things?
No, Ethel, I'm sorry. We're going to have to take all those ledgers out of there now. We won't have any time tomorrow morning, and we've got to have every inch of space in there for that shipment of gold.
May I help you?
Please.
You know, Peter, your ranch has fine possibilities. One more year of work and...
Stop, don't touch that inkwell. Oh, thank heaven. I told you that thing is dangerous.
That's my bandit killer. We have the inkwell rigged up to the trigger of that shotgun up there. It's aimed at the other side of the teller's cage. All Ethel has to do is to move the inkwell and one bandit less.
It makes me nervous.
I tried it once. It blasted out that side window there. Oh, Peter, about selling your ranch, I'm against it. You're an intelligent man. There's no reason why you can't make a go of it.
Made up my mind, Mr. Loring. I'm going into a new business. But I want to thank you for everything you've done for both of us. You've been a real help.
I'm sorry to see you go.
Mrs. Loring?
Bye, Peter.
Any luck?
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's fine, Peter. Any idea how much?
They're cleaning out the safe to make room for it.
What's the matter, Peter? Your conscience bothering you about the Lorings?
They were good friends of mine.
Sure, I can understand that. But out west, a man must be able to seize an opportunity. Unless, of course, he lacks the courage or the strength to succeed.
Robbing a bank. You call that courage?
Well, a man can always quit. Drag himself and his wife back east.
I'm not dragging anything anywhere back east. What time do you want me to meet you tomorrow?
When the bank closes. Garcia. Follow him.
But it's getting dark, and my muchacha is waiting for me.
Let her wait. I think our friend Peter might need some company. Make sure he goes straight home and doesn't change his mind.
What if he changes his mind after he gets home? After he sees his wife?
He won't.
You didn't have to escort me home.
It was nothing, senor.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See? Senor! Perhaps you have another bottle?
I'll see.
Bar is closed, amigo.
Oh, the senor who mixes between husbands and wives. I don't like you.
You know something? I feel the same way about you.
You got off very lucky the last time, senor.
You think I'll have a chance to try my luck again? Adios, amigo. On your horse.
What are you doing here? Where's Garcia?
Garcia had to leave. Kind of a hurry, as a matter of fact. Take your hat off. You're not going anyplace. Take it off. Here. Come over here. Pick up the apron. Go on, pick it up. Put it on. We're going to do some homework, teacher.
Who told you I was a schoolmaster?
Well, your wife and I had a long talk. We talked about the both of you. Your first lesson's going to be in advanced dishwashing, so put on the apron. That's right. It looks nice. You're going to need some hot water, so you better put the kettle on, too. Now,
stack the dirty dishes on the drain board. That's nice. Don't you love her anymore?
What business is that of yours?
Well, now, I've never had any personal experience with matrimony, but I'm told that it's a share and share-like proposition. She's willing to share what you've got. Why don't you share what she has?
A man does not live on his wife's money.
Go on.
I don't know why she ever married me. Her father is rich. Gave her everything she's ever wanted.
She told me that.
Did she tell you how much a teacher gets paid? That her father paid for our luxuries, even our necessities that I couldn't afford? That I came out west to become a rich, independent rancher? That I'm a failure?
What's that got to do with Matt Devlin?
When an animal gets caught in a trap, nobody in the world has a right to judge how he gets himself free, not you or my wife or anybody.
That water's hot enough now. Now you pour that in the dishpan. Gonna be a lot of things cleaned up around here tonight. Now you put the dishes in the dishpan. Good, good. Now you take the soap and wash the dishes.
There it is, right on schedule. Come closing time, all we need is for Peter to put him off that guard inside the bank.
Maybe that hombre will not let him come.
Nobody's gonna stop Peter. He's hungry. Oh, not in his belly. Inside his head, where it counts.
Want some more coffee?
I'll get it.
No, Peter. Peter, Abigail wants some more coffee. All right, Bonner. You've had me up all night. Sweeping, dusting, washing. All right, you've made your point. A woman leads a dog's life. Her work is never done. Poor. I'll have some, too.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank him. How long do you intend to keep this up?
That depends.
On what? On Abigail here.
Peter, do you think we could ever learn to talk to one another again?
There's nothing to talk about.
It's no use.
Don't worry. I think we made some headway.
Back east, words came so easy. Many times we'd start to say the same thing at the same times. We knew what was in each other's heart.
Nice of him to bring the gold. Real considerate.
I hope you're right about Peter.
Now, don't worry, he'll be here. Take my word, you can bank on it.
Peter was a fine teacher.
I can't say as I ever heard of many men teachers.
Teaching's a man-sized job, just like doctoring or engineering or any other kind of hard, honest labor.
Oh, I didn't mean anything by it.
Well, I didn't like the tone of voice you used. Peter was more than just a teacher. He was an educator. He fought for better schools.
How'd they do that?
By writing books. Like these. By speaking at conventions, by going around and...
Sounds like a man-sized job.
More than most people realize.
Schools should be filled with new ideas, not stuffed with old facts.
Sometimes I feel that our marriage has done Peter a terrible injustice.
Go west, young man. I don't suppose anybody ever questions that.
The West is supposed to be the land of opportunity.
Land of opportunity for a man is where he's needed the most, and where he's the most useful, east or west.
I guess we never realized that. Peter? 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 He's gone.
Where?
With Matt and Garcia to rob the Loring Bank. I've heard them plan it, every detail of it.
What?
My fine husband, the teacher's become Matt Devlin's pupil.
Abigail, you want to help?
Can we, Mr. Bonner?
If you'll do what I say, and be careful, maybe we can.
Peter goes into the bank first.
I follow and take care of the banker.
I'll be at the window watching the street.
I tell the bankers... No, I can't do it, Matt. You've got to call it off.
Call it off? Here's the chance you've been waiting for all these months.
I've changed my mind.
Well, I haven't. There must be $100,000 of gold in there. You know what that means? No more holding up stagecoaches. No more penny ante robberies. I've been waiting for this for years. And you're not gonna spoil it for me now, Mr. Garrick. The Lorings trust you, and you're gonna get that gold for us.
No.
Don't waste your knife on him. If you don't go through with your part of the deal, Garcia and his knife will pay a visit to your wife, understand? You won't be needing that. Come on, we'll check on the horses.
Come in, Peter.
Very quiet. This knife flies very fast.
Mrs. Loring, if you do what you're told, you won't be hurt. We want that gold.
Tell her to bring them all out. We know how much there is.
You better do as he says, Mrs. Loring.
When I tell you to duck, duck. Now! Honey, are you all right?
Yes.
There are two more outside.
The marshal's got them well in tow.
Everything's been taken care of.
That is everything but one thing.
Mr. Loring, I want you to sell our ranch.
Peter, where'll we go?
Back home. I'm gonna get my old job back. And we're going to live on my salary. A teacher's salary.
As Greeley was wrong. Go east, young man.
Take care of your horse, mister? Rub him down for a dime.
Dime doesn't sound like too much. Yeah. Say, whose funeral?
Dave Regan. He was a sheriff.
I knew who he was. He'd been a friend of mine for a long time. He was why I was here, to be the best man at his wedding. What happened to Dave Regan?
You a friend of his?
I came 100 miles to be best man at his wedding.
Must be Vint Bonner. Yeah, Dave talked about you a lot.
What happened?
He was killed the day before yesterday. A man by the name of Vance Carter. Ever hear of him?
Vance Carter. I've heard the name.
A professional gun. Came into town 3 nights ago looking for Dave. When he rode out, Dave was dead.
Where is this Carter now?
He could be anywhere. We've been out chasing him all day yesterday and today. We lost him in Devil's Canyon.
And that's going to be the end of it?
Look, Bonner. I was Dave's deputy. He was my friend, too. Everybody in this town liked him. Now, there are 30 men from Dorado out there that haven't been out of their saddles for the past 2 days. Does that sound to you like we don't care?
How did it happen?
He shot in the back.
Any witnesses?
No, I told you he was shot in the back. Anyway, what difference does it make? We know who did it.
You've got a town to run, Sheriff. That's your responsibility. I've got a responsibility, too. That's to find this hired gun.
Now, look at Bonner. We'll find him. Every peace officer in the territory is looking for Carter.
I'm still gonna try.
All right, I can't stop you. When are you leaving?
After I've talked to the girl he was gonna marry.
And I think you'd better have a fresh horse.
Much obliged. Mr. Sturgis?
Yeah? Who are you?
Oh, I'm a friend of Dave's, sir. I'd like to talk to you.
Come in, son.
Is Nancy here, Mr. Sturgis?
Nancy? Oh, she's had a bad shock. She's been bad ever since it happened. You say you're a good friend of Dave's?
I was a good friend.
I couldn't have loved him more if he'd been my own son. Saw him every day. He used to pick me up at the mine and drive me home. Mister, I spent 40 years digging and working the mining claims. Always hoping that I'd make the big strike so Nancy and the man she marries could have something. You know something, son? I made the big strike a week ago. You believe me?
I believe you. If it helps any, I'm going to try to bring in his killer.
You do that, son. I'd go with you, but Ben Webster says I'm too old. And you know something, son? Maybe he's right.
Would you tell Nancy I was here?
Your name? What did you say your name was?
Vint Bonner.
You all right?
Thanks to you, I am.
That's a new experience for me. Actually, I don't like seeing anyone ambushed. What'd you do?
Do?
Well, you must have done something. Somebody wanted you killed pretty badly.
I can't think of anyone.
I guess you don't always need a reason.
Well, thanks again. My name's Vint Bonner.
Glad to know you, Bonner. I'm Vance Carter.
Vance Carter?
That's right. You've heard of me?
More than that. I was looking for you.
What's this, a business matter?
Not exactly. I was going to take you someplace. Alive or dead.
That's very funny. Which one of your relatives has left this world because of me?
No relative. A good friend. A sheriff named Regan.
Regan? I don't know any Regan. Where's he from?
Dorado.
Dorado.
Ever been there?
I was. How did your friend die?
He was shot. In the back. By a professional.
But it's true, my gun is for hire. That's my business. In a sense, I'm a gambler. But I don't gamble for money, I gamble for higher table stakes. My life. I don't shoot people in the back. Every man I've faced has had an even chance.
From what I hear, not with your speed.
You never know when you meet a faster one. Might be today, might be tomorrow. Who says I killed Regan?
The whole town?
I see. It all ties in. Do you know why I was in Dorado?
I'm listening.
I got a letter from a man offering me $1,000 for my services.
Who was it?
Ned Avery. I went into Dorado to the appointed place, but no Ned Avery.
So, maybe someone wanted you in town so that
I could take the blame for killing your friend. Do you believe me?
I think I do. But what's the answer?
Find the man who wanted me in town. You'll have the man that shot Regan and just try to have you killed.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. Where do we start?
I like the word we. Maybe those two departed souls up there can give us a lead.
I never saw him before in my life.
Neither have I. Who was the first one to tell you I killed Regan?
Ben Webster, the new sheriff.
Thick-set man, hair thinning a little on top.
You know him?
Not socially. He's been trying to introduce himself lately.
I guess I'll have another talk with him.
I think I'd like to ask him a couple of questions, too.
Look, there's a big set of cottonwoods up on the north side of town. You meet me there at sunup tomorrow.
I'll be there.
Mr. Bonner,
That's right.
I'm Nancy Sturgis. I've got to talk to you.
Come in.
I love Dave so. And I know he thought a lot of you.
That worked both ways, Miss Sturgis.
For his sake, I'm asking you a favor.
Anything at all.
Please leave town.
Without finding who killed him?
It was an accident.
Accident? Why do you think that?
Because my father killed Dave.
Your father? Dave's girl told me a strange and tragic tale. One that was almost impossible to believe. But her sincerity was unmistakable.
I had to accept it as fact.
Please, just leave. You never should have come.
What are you doing here?
Just got nervous. Couldn't stay away. Don't worry. No one saw me.
Well, as long as you're here, I've got some news for you. I found out who the killer is.
Just tell me his name, Bono, and I'll take care of him. Fast.
No, you won't.
Why not?
Because you don't kill old men. And this was an accident.
Who is this old man?
Father of Regan's girl. He's got a mine. And some wild idea, he struck a rich vein. Scared to death someone will take it away from him. So Regan came by, and the old man fired a shot to warn him off.
Killed him instead. Is that how it happened? And you believe this story?
Why shouldn't I?
Someone's lying. On my way over here tonight, I came by the mine. Some old codger took a shot at me. It's a full moon out, and I wasn't 50 feet away. He didn't even come close.
That bad a shot?
He couldn't have killed anyone, even by accident. You know, Vince, a hired gun could have killed Regan. It isn't as though I don't have competitors.
Whoever did it's still in town.
Why do you say that?
Because they took a shot at me. And they might try again.
Because you were Reagan's friend?
Because I'm still here. And I could find out something.
What do you know about this fellow Webster?
Nothing much. Seems like a nice enough guy.
That's what bothers me. Nice guys don't usually become sheriff. And no offense to your friend Regan. You see, I have a personal interest in this, too. Professional pride, you might call it. The story of shooting someone in the back, well, that hurts.
Webster probably went along with that to protect the old man.
Well, maybe that's what he wants everyone to think. I'd like to know more about this sheriff. Who could we talk to? Pop?
He's been around a long time.
Do you think we could get anything out of him?
We? You'd be taking an awful chance with half the town looking for you.
No, I don't think so. We could meet him at the mine.
It's worth a try. Besides, it might be the only chance we've got. We'll leave as soon as it's daybreak. Meantime, let's get some rest. No need for the gun, Pop.
You know me?
Yes, sir. My name's Vince Bonner. I met you over at Dave's house, remember?
Oh, yes. Do I know him?
No, he's a friend of mine, named Joe Hodges.
What you fellas doing up so early?
We wanted to ask you a few questions.
You don't fool me. You've come to buy my mine. Well, it ain't for sale. Here. Let me show you something. That's from the assayer's office. Highest grade ore they ever seen.
You're a rich man, Pop.
I can thank Ben Webster for that. He took the samples over personally.
Have you known Ben a long time?
Well, I should. He was born here. Figured for a time he might marry Nancy. And he might have if Dave hadn't come to town. But Dave's going to marry me. I know Dave's dead. But I keep pretending he's still alive. That make me a mite touched.
No, Pop, I wouldn't say so.
Now you know why I can't sell the mine. I'm going to leave it to Nancy and the man she marries. I guess now that'll be Ben Webster. Sorry, fellas. The mine ain't for sale.
It's Webster. There's no doubt about that. I'm going in to get him.
No, you're not.
Sorry, Bonner. That's the way it's going to be. Now let me go.
Look, I'll take care of Webster, I promise. But it's got to be done my way. You going to listen?
I should have let you be bushwhacked. All right. I'll listen.
Now, this is what I plan. Did you tell anyone you saw me last night?
Oh, no. Did I do the wrong thing?
No. Except now I'm pretty sure that your father didn't kill Dave.
He didn't. Well, who did?
Ben Webster.
I've been expecting you, Bonner. How did you make out on that wild goose chase of yours?
Better than I expected. I have found Vance Carter.
You did? Where is he? Why didn't you bring him in?
Would you like to go up against him alone?
No, I guess not. How do you know he'll stay where he is?
I don't. That's why we better move fast.
All right, I'll get a posse together right away.
Hold it. We don't need a posse. The two of us are enough.
Look, why take the chance? Carter's dangerous.
I don't want to see him killed. I want to see him hang. That's why I think the two of us are enough. Or don't you think so?
All right, Bonner. I'll go with you. I'm ready. Hold it, Bonner.
That gun could go off.
It's going to. Now get down off that horse.
You mind telling me why?
Not at all. I don't like being led into a trap. You see, I know all about you and Carter.
You might as well tell me the rest.
When the horse I loaned you came back alone, I figured everything was all right. Until somebody told me different.
Like who?
The third man at the pass.
You know what happened to your other two friends?
Not friends, Bonner. All three were strangers. They didn't know me. I gave a different name when I hired them.
A name like Ned Avery.
I had everything worked out fine until you showed up.
When you pull that trigger, I'm going to get off a shot. I doubt if I'll miss. But if I do, Carter will kill you.
I'll take care of Carter when the time comes.
The time's come, Webster. Surprised I'm here? Bonner, you don't think like a killer. Webster and I do. I thought it'd be wise to get here a little early. Something could go wrong. How do you want to die, Webster? You got three choices. On your horse, on the ground, or on your knees.
He's got a fourth choice. We can hang him.
He doesn't have a fourth choice.
Yes, he does. I'm taking him back to stand trial.
Who'd believe you?
A judge and a jury?
In this case, I'm the judge, the jury, and the executioner. All right, hit the ground, Webster.
I say he's going to stand trial.
Don't crowd me, Bonner. Give him back his gun.
Sorry, Vance.
I hoped it'd never have to be you and me.
That's up to you. I'm ready anytime you are.
Like I won after all.
Webster, you can't get both of us.
Bonner's right. One of us is going to take you.
After all, you're not shooting a man in the back now.
Your hand is shaking, Webster. What's wrong with your trigger finger?
Getting nervous? All right, now let's not go through this whole thing again. You got a pair of fists, use them.
All right, Bonner. I'll do it your way.
What are you doing?
I paid $80 for this suit. And I don't intend to soil it on a crooked sheriff.
I hope you left enough of them to stand trial.
I think he'll live.
It's a pretty good job. It's better than using a gun, isn't it?
What are you trying to do? Convert me?
No. It was merely an observation.
You've got a point. Besides, it's more fun.
Pretty good judge of people. Thought I'd seen most every kind of crook, too. That is, until I met some of the strange new residents of a town called Happy Hollow. I'd ridden across one state and a territory to help Aldrich Newton celebrate 20 years in newspapering. Happy Hollow didn't look so very happy. And old Newt's newspaper, the Happy Hollow Harbinger, didn't look so good either.
Hello, Vint. Am I glad to see you?
What in the world happened?
You're just in time for the wake.
Well, is this the way you celebrate 20 years of newspaper?
Vint, I just crusaded myself right out of business.
Tell me about it.
Remember Blair Weeks?
Sure, I remember him. Used to do all his arguing with a six-shooter.
Oh, he's come up in the world. Even as a pair of hired guns working for him. Yeah, he's got this town right in the palm of his hand.
Well, how about you? Anybody on your side? The sheriff? The mayor?
The sheriff? The mayor? You take a mayor with expensive taste, he needs a mansion more than we need a schoolhouse. You take a sheriff with an appetite like a horse, he needs a hotel more than we need a jail. And you take a judge who fights the roulette table by the hour, he
He needs a gambling house more than we need a church.
Who's doing the pay?
Cost the people $5,000. That's why I went in the crusade.
Anyone backing you up?
Oh, the town's in my side, all right, but when the mayor hired Blair Weeks to see him through the election, the whole town ducked for cover.
When is the election?
Took place last week. Got themselves re-elected by due process of crime. Thought I had him cornered last Friday. I printed a letter from the governor thanking the Harbinger for reporting the grave state of affairs here in Happy Hollow and promising to send a special investigator.
When is he due in?
He isn't. Governor didn't write the letter. I did. Now I'm out of business.
I helped you put old Horace Greeley together here, remember?
Yeah, you was just a youngster.
And I don't want to see it shut up. Any more than I want to see you shut up.
Won't be easy, Vint.
You used to tell me that nothing good ever comes easy, remember?
Vint, I have a feeling we might hold that celebration after all.
Let's get this place straightened up.
It was Bent Bonner. I know how he looks and I know how he shoots.
Well, the trouble with our sheriff is ever since old Newt pulled his bluff about that special investigator coming down here from the Capitol.
How do you know it was a bluff? Like I was saying before the judge interrupted us, Bent Bonner's a sight more to worry about than any special investigator.
Blair Weeks has 2 hole cards. Bonner's got none.
Go fetch Bonner.
You mean Blair Weeks, don't you?
No, you fool, Bonner. Now go on.
You know, if you was behind the roulette wheel, I'd say you were fixing for a crooked spin.
I sure am. I'm hiring Bonner to get rid of Blair Weeks for me.
Well, what for?
Because I want my town back.
Oh, so if Bonner does win out, he'll move right in like Blair did.
That's where you're wrong. Bonner's got an itchy saddle. He can't stand to be tied down anywhere.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, daughter.
You're perspiring again. Now, has somebody been making you nervous?
Oh, go upstairs. I'm expecting a visitor.
A man?
What did you think, a horse?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I'm very upset. You'll have to stay out of his sight.
You know, it might just as well be a horse, after all.
The way old Newt accepted the mayor's invite for me, I knew he must have something up his sleeve. Trouble was, I didn't know what. Only thing I could do was kind of feel my way through the situation.
I'm Mayor Love, Mr. Bonner. Welcome to Happy Hollow.
Thank you. I've already been welcomed.
Well, come on in. Come on in. Oh, Judge Adams, I want you to meet Bent Bonner.
Well, how are you?
Hello, Judge.
Has Newton told you about us?
Oh, foul slander. Open and shut case or open and shut case.
I heard about you boys up at the Capitol.
How are things at the Capitol, Mr. Bonner?
Rena, we're talking business.
I know. Go to your room and don't interrupt.
Well, getting back to old Newt.
He thinks we're in league with one Blair Weeks and his gunman.
When the truth of the matter is, we have to submit to them or they'd ravage our town.
Oh, we put up with a lot.
You just give me one good deputy, like yourself, and I'd show him who's boss around here.
Or even a marshal of Mr. Bonner's caliber.
The job pays better.
Yes, and a marshal of Mr. Bonner's caliber could name his own price.
And rate a bonus, maybe.
I see. Well, it sounds like a job for a good man. I've got one.
affair's got to look like a personal quarrel. I don't want Bonner's death traced to me.
If only he'd have seen things our way.
Yes, he seems so nice. Coming from the Capitol and all.
Well, he isn't nice.
The Capitol? That's why he went direct to Aldrich Newton. He's the special investigator.
The special investigator?
Well, I still think he's nice.
He's come back.
Rita, upstairs. Oh, it's you.
We thought you was Vint Bonner coming back.
He's the special investigator.
So that's what he was doing at the Harbinger, huh? We'll have to take care of him.
But you killed Bonner, and the cavalry hit Happy Hollow like a swarm of locusts.
That's right.
Oh, will you stop digging our graves? We're a long way from being dead.
What do you got in mind?
My daughter.
Serena? No, you don't.
It's only temporary until we've got Bonner hooked.
You, wouldn't have said the same thing about me?
Now, look, you can't kill a special investigator and get away with it. And if we let him investigate, we're sunk. Rena's my only chance.
Why not bribe him?
Not until Rena softened him up.
All right, we'll try it.
Then here's the play. Now, first, you've got to make him think that he scared you out of town.
Bonner?
Yes. Then circle back here and hide in my cellar.
Why?
Well, because I want you near. You'll know what's going on.
I'll buy it. But only until noon tomorrow.
That's mighty short rope.
10 minutes after 12, and it'll be like the judge said. You wish the cavalry had come.
Takes the weight of the world right off my shoulders.
What do you suppose made Blair Weeks and his men leave town?
Why, he saw Vint Bonner and got scared. It's that simple.
There's Bonner himself.
Oh, Happy Hollow owes you a vote of thanks, Mr. Bonner.
Well, that jail is as broken down as your office.
Yep, you can break out of one as easy as you can break into the other.
Now, I know what you're thinking, but with Blair Weeks gone, I can talk freely.
I'm not interested.
Mayor's entitled to respect, Vint.
That's right nice of you, Newt.
Will you come to my house alone?
Of course he will.
Judge Adams wanted to see you.
Oh, he did, eh? I'll be with you directly, Mr. Bonner. Now, you make yourself right at home.
Why, it's Mr. Bonner. Hello. I'm Serena. Papa said I could be very friendly with you. Would you like to kiss my hand?
I'm afraid I'm not the type.
Well, whatever type you are, I like it. Don't you think I'm pretty?
Yes, you're pretty.
I think that all girls should be
soft and nice. All over. Don't you? None of my ribs, yeah. Sit down. I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't like this town, and I'd like to get away, but, well, it's so difficult for a single girl and all.
Well, while you're talking, let's be completely honest. I don't like the town either. But your father made it what it is. Why? And where do you fit in?
Do you have any money?
Money? No, I don't.
Oh, that's too bad. But I suppose some men are like that. I mean, until they find the right girl.
Why, maybe you're right.
Well, you two getting acquainted, I see.
Papa, Mr. Bonner hasn't a cent to his name.
Look, Mayor, I'm going to be frank with you. You collected money for a new jail.
We did.
And a schoolhouse.
Just what our town needs.
And a church.
Well, Blair Weeks absconded with the funds.
That's right. Every blasted cent.
You say Mr. Bonner has no money?
He just told me so himself.
Now, gentlemen, did you ever hear of such a thing? A man of influence without money?
Well, no.
Well, do something about it. Oh, Rena, weren't you and Mr. Bonner going for a ride?
Nobody said anything about it.
He means he doesn't like me.
But I think it might be a very nice idea.
Oh, I think it would be a lovely idea.
Now, don't you worry about hurrying back, dear. I know that you're in very good hands.
Well, I'm going to take you to the most beautiful, romantic spot you've ever seen.
Hey! Greatest piece of luck I ever saw. 8 sevens in a row. And it's yours, Bonner. All yours.
Are you loco?
But I won it for you. 1,000 cash.
$1,000?
Yes.
1,000 measly dollars.
I'll just double that for you.
Rena goes only to a man of wealth and influence.
Well, it seems as how Mr. Bonner has a mind of both.
Especially influence.
I see what you mean. That begins to seem possible. You might call it up front.
Oh, no. Don't even think such a thing.
Shall we go, Serena?
Special investigators sure come high.
Blair?
It's working.
That daughter of yours, she's got a heart like a weather vane.
Now, you know as well as I do that she's doing this under orders.
She don't act to me like she's making any sacrifices.
We'll play it my way as long as I'm in charge around here.
All right, you're in charge around here. Till noon tomorrow. We were talking about being honest back at your house.
Yes.
Tell me something. Do you like the life that you and your father lead?
No. Oh, I mean, all those men that he makes me be nice to and everything. That's why I want to leave. I could go anywhere with a man like you, Vint.
Or, Blair Weeks.
No.
Tell me about Blair Weeks.
I could tell an awful lot about Blair Weeks. To the man who'd take me away from here.
I see.
Almost 9. You'd think she'd show a little consideration.
Wait till I get my hands on her, and him.
Now, just be patient.
I'm running out of patience.
This doesn't mean that Rita ran out on us. There, she didn't.
Rena.
Is he hooked?
Got him primed to leave town?
Well, where is he? What did he say? Did he promise anything? Well, Rena, speak to me.
She didn't, huh? You acting a mite hasty, Newt? Now, sit down here. I got a few things to tell you.
I'd feel a sight better if you'd let me call in some mannequin trusts to back you up.
No, Newt. We'll do it my way.
What kind of talk is that? You don't know where Bonner is. Look, you've got 1 hour and a half to get him out of town.
I tell you, he'll be along directly. Now, it's all fixed. Rena and I are taking the noon stage to the Capitol. Bonner's got to come along.
What do you mean, got it?
Well, because he's human.
Vince, you naughty boy. Now, where have you been? Now,
That floor up there is a regular sounding board.
That's fine. That's fine. So you keep talking good and loud or I'll know the double cross is on. You're just about the shrewdest critter this side of Dodge.
I am?
Yes, sir. You made yourself a fortune overnight.
And there it is.
Well, I guess I am kind of smart at that.
Well, Vint, how are you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I never felt better in my life.
Me too. In fact, I feel so good that I'm going to join you two lovebirds on the noon stage.
Oh, I'm afraid that'll be kind of impossible now.
Oh, but Vince, you promised me last... No, you can't go back on your word.
Now, dear, I'm not backing out on anything, but I've taken a look around your town, and Happy Hollow seems to me like a nice place to settle down in.
Settle down? Here?
You can't do that to us.
But, Vint, you're much too big for Happy Hollow.
Oh, I can't go back to the capital. Not with all this money.
Well, then go somewhere else.
Well, I like it here. Besides, it was big enough for Blair Weeks, it's big enough for me. And Rena's been telling me all about it.
Rena.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes. It's all in the family, anyway.
No objections, I hope.
I object.
Me too.
Serena, how could you do this to me?
Because Vint and I are in love with each other.
He can hear every word you say.
Get him up.
Get down there.
Get over there.
Get down. Down.
Do you know who's in the cellar?
I warned him.
Well, you know you're asking for a showdown, don't you?
Well, it's 3 against 1. This isn't any of my fight.
I never thought you were a coward.
Both of you, get out of here. Do you realize what it means to double-cross Blair Weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. That's what it means, Your Honor.
Serena, get out.
I'm not leaving.
I'd just as soon shoot right through that no-good double-crosser. I'm going to start shooting at the count of 3. 1, 2.
The town is ours now, Vint. We don't have to share it with anybody else. It belongs to us.
Town belongs to itself, to the people in it. Folks like yourself, your father, you're through.
I could change.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your father. I thought Blair'd come gunning for me. About your changing, you've got a whole lifetime to find out. Took the town a little while to recover, but old Newt made a very good mayor. And my bribe money went quite a ways toward the new schoolhouse and the jail, not to mention the church. Serena, I heard that she'd applied for a job as a school teacher. Didn't fit somehow.